What on earth is that, Stephen? I hear you ask. Well... This is an LED board from a keg font. A keg font that looks just like this. And as you can see, the one on the left, the Frizzanti keg, isn't working. And that's because the LED board has failed. Now, I'm not entirely sure what has failed on it, but I suspect it's this LED, which is why I've marked it with a cross, because the other three were on very faint. So they obviously were lighting up a little bit, but just not to the full capacity, and this one wasn't lighting up at all. So I suspect that this one has gone, and the other three just aren't getting the power that they necessitate to illuminate. But I can test that, I think. So if I put my multimeter into diode mode, and let's go across these, so there and there. That one's lighting up. There and there. That one's lighting up. And that one is. And that one is not. So it is that one, I think, that's faulty. So I'm going to try and replace it. Now these LEDs are obviously made of plastic, so it's going to be quite difficult, I think, to get these off without damaging them. But I suppose I'm not bothered about getting it off, but I need to obviously replace them with some working ones. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. I do have another board, which was from another keg font that failed. But as you can see, the LEDs are a different size. Yeah, they're considerably different. I mean, what I could possibly do is put two there. Run them in sort of parallel there, and that might give off the same sort of illumination. But let's just check that these ones are working. Yep. 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 And yeah, so all four of them are working. So I'm not sure what's wrong with this one. I'm guessing it must be the chip, or maybe the capacitor has gone. But it is off a different one, as you can see. It's a different size, so I wouldn't be able to use that in the font that's broken. I would have to still use this one, otherwise it's not going to fit. Well, let's start by trying to remove this. And I think to do that, I'm just going to add some leaded solder and some flux and get the biggest tip that I've got, which is not very big, and see how I get on. Here goes. I can smell burning plastic. Tell you what, I'm going to get these under the microscope. It might make it a bit easier. Right, looks like I made a right mess already. I only just started. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to get the other ones off. Yeah, I'm just destroying this, but do you know what? I'm just going to destroy it to get it off. Destroy! Don't try this at home, kids. Huh, that actually worked out alright. Let's clean that up. Right, there we go. I think we're okay now. I am a bit worried about getting the other ones off, though, so let's start. Let's start with LED 4. Right, how am I going to do this? Wick? At least I've got 4 to play with. In fact, I'm just going to start on that side. I'm going to add a little bit of leaded solder, and I'm going to try and wick it off. I'm obviously going to be more careful this time. Oh, I can't get anywhere near it. And just while John Wick works his magic on this, I would like to thank my Holy Hand Grenade patrons, Tidder and Taylor Helton, and everyone else who supports me. It is massively appreciated. Thank you. That might have worked. Well, it's definitely moved a bit. Let me try. Just lift this up slightly. I can't do it with this tip. Need to change tips. Let's try this one. Let's move in. Do you know what? I think that has lifted away. And if I can do the same on this side with my wobbly left hand. Oh yeah! Nice. Right, so it looks like the positive side is the thinner part because we've got a plus here. So let's put that on. Right, so so not that way round, the other way around. So it's going to be that way round. These are tiny in comparison. Oh no. A little bit of melting plastic. Not too bad though, I don't think. Right, that's on. Make sure it still lights up. Yes, it does. I don't know if to add another one. Let's turn these lights off and let's get the brightness compared to the other three. I'm going to use my bench power supply and I'm going to output... I'll do it low. I'll start with 3 volts. Because I know these are more than 3 volts, but I don't want to blow them up. I'm not sure it's quite as bright. I think I'm going to add another one. That is assuming I can get another one off without melting it. Do you know what? I think I'm just going to do the same as what I did before. I'm not going to bother with flux this time, and I'm not going to bother with wicking. Yeah, I'm just going to hold the LED and I'm just going to touch this pad. Just try and gently lift. There we go. And let's swap over and do the shaky left hand version. Et voila! I mean, it looks massively wonky there, doesn't it? But it's not that bad. It's just because this is magnified like I don't know how many times, a couple of times. I'll just check it works, and then I will add a bit more solder. Yeah. Okay. Just try and tidy this up a bit. I mean, no one's going to see it, but... Yeah, I don't want to melt these, so I'm probably not going to add much more. I'm gonna leave it at that. Right, let's turn the lights off again. Ooh. Oh, I'm all twisted. Twisting my melons, man. Right, let's try that one. Ooh. And let's try this one. Well, these two. Oh yeah, much better. I think. I think that's about the same now. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, the only other thing I have to do is I had to cut these wires, so I'm going to have to remove these. Well, in fact, I could just solder to them, couldn't I? No. I'm going to remove them, and I'm going to solder some new wires in. How am I going to do this? I know how I'm going to do it. You've got to ask yourself one question. How does Clint Eastwood talk? You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya, punk? Still didn't sound like Clint Eastwood. Oh, I love this thing! I would kiss you if you would not burn my lips off. That would be weird. Oh, it's just... I'll stop going on about it, I promise, but... Wow. Okay. Nice. Nice. It's not often I get to say this, but that is better than factory. It's probably not actually, but it looks pretty good. And I think these were routed/routed through there like that to act as a bit of strain relief. Yes. Excellent. And now all I need to do is take this back to work and reattach it. And hope it works. Right, I just need to check what voltage is in this. So, I believe it's AC. Not sure you're going to be able to see this. It's 24 volts. And it is AC, so it doesn't matter which way around I put the wires. Let's turn the power off. And I think I'm going to use these Wago connectors, which are pretty awesome for jobs like this. And it should keep the wires nice and secure. So these are the Wago connectors. You literally lift these up, pop your two wires in there and close them up. It's as simple as that. So let's do that. Right, so obviously the power is off now. Slide that one in. And you have to strip these back. I think it says 11 millimeters. So as long as you strip them back a centimetre or so, it should work fine. And there we go, it's nice and secure now. Let's do the other one. Right, there we go. And I think before I go putting it all back together, it is worth just plugging that in now and just testing it, see if they light up. Here we go. Stand well back. Yay! Oh, that's awesome. I'm really happy with that. Looks like all four of the LEDs are exactly the same brightness to me as well. Because obviously we've got the two on this side. These are the ones that I replaced on this left-hand side. Excellent. Right, so we just need to pop this board back in. There we go. Let's pop the badge back on. Now the moment of truth. Well, the second moment of truth. I already know it works, but... Yes! Oh, it's not straight. Yeah. Definitely time for a small beer to celebrate. Cheers, everybody. Twisting my melons, man.